Ranjit Mishra. I work with Exia as a senior RSM for apps and security. Before I get into my PPT, which is very short and brief, I'll just take you through with a very small video. Probably it'll give you a deeper perspective and very high level what I'm going to talk about it, and a little bit of what Exia does in security space.
Let's face it, your company is at war. Your network and data center are under constant attack by anyone from hacktivists and criminals to nation states and employees uploading videos to Facebook. DOS attacks, malware, spam, patches, updates, load. A firestorm of issues threatens your business on a daily basis. Your IT staff is on the front lines of this cyber war, but they've only been trained to react to problems, not proactively prevent the damage. And they don't even know if a defense will work until it doesn't. Plus, you can't trust your allies because they just tell you what they think you want to hear. This full-scale war is being fought on your turf. The battlefield is your IT infrastructure. Your enemies are always on the march, and your weapon against them is what exactly? You've got a choice. Continue to patch and pray that your network and data center will endure persistent threats, or go military on cyber attackers. Breaking Point products give you a compact cyber range device, a complete virtualized environment that unleashes internet-scale cyber war in a controlled setting to harden defenses, predict performance, and transform your staff into cyber warriors. You can score the resiliency of every component of your network and data center with a standardized metric that gives you immediate insight into the performance, security, and stability of your IT infrastructure. With that knowledge, you can pinpoint stress fractures and harden vulnerable targets in a focused and effective way, while continuously optimizing the security and performance of an ever-changing infrastructure. Only Breaking Point products deliver the cyber range performance and capabilities needed to simulate your own unique network conditions, including built-in applications, security attacks, traffic profiles, automated labs, and ability to generate hundreds of gigabits per second of stateful application traffic, enabling you to create massive-scale, real-world simulations and record their impact on network and data center targets. Using Breaking Point products throughout your IT lifecycle allows you to hold vendors accountable by evaluating products using your unique network traffic, mitigate deployment risks by validating configuration as well as the effects of change, determine capacity so you can right-size your IT investments, maintain resiliency to new threats, and predict the effect of updates and patches. With Breaking Point solutions, not only can you build a resilient and fortified infrastructure, but you can train an army of cyber warriors to protect and maintain it. Just as the military trains on a shooting range, you can use these cyber range capabilities to demonstrate exactly how IT performance will fare under thousands of different high-stress scenarios. You can't stop the onslaught of security threats, high bandwidth traffic, bugs, patches, and World of Warcraft fans, but you can take up arms to neutralize their damage. Breaking Point provides the ultimate weapon against cyber war, a complete cyber range for your IT staff with continually updated attacks and applications. Don't let the next attack expose where your company is vulnerable. Attack yourself and find it before they do.
So I'll not take much time because I'm sure everyone is waiting for the lunch. So before we get into Q&A, I'll just take around 15 minutes. So my topic for today is beyond VAPT. I hope everyone in this audience knows VAPT, vulnerability and penetration testing. So why I chose this topic was because this is a compliance which most of the enterprises are complying to all the compliances which sort of part of the VAPT. So I'll talk about what are the limitations of VAPT today. It is concentrated towards the end target, and most of the time network infrastructure is overlooked. And it fails in exposing networking blind spot. And how it is carried out? Typically, in any organization, VAPT is carried out as a black box exercise, and the person who is doing, who is trying to penetrate a particular network or a box, he is not aware of the entire network knowledge of a typical enterprise he's trying to do this exercise. And the third main point is that it's done for very, very limited period of time. So we don't get the entire snapshot of the org's the security posture. So it gives you a very, very limited security posture of any org's network, and it does not necessarily target training network admins. So that's something which is also one of the key points I would like to sort of talk about VAPT. So now, what is the trend today if you look at the IT spending in any of the enterprise, especially the BFSI, because that's the area we're talking about. So today, if you look at, we are spending a lot of money, and millions of dollars on most of the perimeter security gears. And what these spendings are meant for, to basically, so that you can prevent a lot of attacks which are happening. But in spite of spending so much millions of dollars, the confidence is still low, because you see those attacks and happening every second day. In fact, you can say that every second minute. So and there is no other tool which can give any of the CISOs or the CIOs of the CXOs for any ROI analysis. And you are dealing with many vendors, hundreds of vendors, and you don't know who is right for your network, So typically, if the POC is happening, it happens in a very, very isolated way, and it doesn't really recreates the scenarios of your network. So and the biggest point which I want to make here is that in a perimeter security, your first wall is your firewall, and the the UTMs. There you are. That's the first way your attackers, they try to attack, and what we try to see is that most of the guys, firewall engineers or the IT engineers who are managing these UTMs, they're only working and concentrating on these firewalls, and they don't know the the entire network end to end. So the other main point which I'm trying to say is that you spend so much money on the gears, but the part which is lacking in most of the cases is that right expertise while handling these gears. So what the enterprises are they need to do or required to do, they have to improve their security posture. How they can do that, what we try to as a company, solution company, we try to emphasize on 3 E's. One is you emulate, second is you evaluate, third is educate. And these are 3 E's which are very important in any network today. And by doing these 3 E's, you can find your blind spots, and you can eliminate those blind spots. You can do the evaluation, right evaluation, and quantify those risk aspect with those vendors who are coming to your network. You can reduce your troubleshootings from hours to many days, and hours to even minutes, by doing these emulation, evaluation, and education on daily basis. And then you can emulate information, security threat, and data. So our solution primarily comprises of application threat intelligence, and as Vishal was talking about actionable intelligence, that is basically part of our solution. And we try to update these attacks, applications, and evasions on almost bi-weekly basis. So we have a research team which sort of works on this on almost daily basis. So all right, so I talked about 3 E's, and so the things which we cannot do, are does not try to infiltrate the end target or host. We will not perform vulnerability assessment, which you do it with your VAPT tools, and we don't try to educate the admin people. What we do basically, we just concentrate on your network and perimeter assessment. So how does it help you? It helps you in understanding your real security posture of your network, actual performance of the devices which are behaving in your network. So that helps you in also assessing the proper vendor selection. And then one of the gentlemen in panel discussion was trying to come up with that, how do we quantify the resiliency? So with our tool, you can even quantify the resiliency of each device in the network, which can make you take better informed decisions, and last but not the least, people training, which is so important for managing your network. Okay, what are the how you can address your lot of challenges and questions normally you have? Is my web application firewall doing its job? Is my anti-DDoS device able to mitigate DDoS? My anti-spam firewall and any other device which is there in your network is able to do the job which is supposed to do in your traffic situation? Absolutely, yes. So we have a tool called Breaking Point. Seen in the video. So this is a tool which is so small, small in size, in form factor. It can emulate the traffic for your enterprise, and every enterprise has different traffic situation and different kind of application traffic. So if you look at typically this is a standard IT network which I'm sure you can relate to your, and what it does is that if you look at the dotted line and the red line, so primarily with our 2 ports you can emulate the entire network traffic and check the resiliency of each device in that particular network. So that makes you more efficient in assessing not only those devices which are behaving in your network situation, but also check the skill sets of your people who are managing your network. And we have seen that most of the time you have fantastic high-tech security gears in your network, but the people who are managing those are still not aware of a lot of things which they have to manage as a cyber defender. So we emphasize on also developing a cyber defender and cyber warrior, which you can leverage upon from our tool. So beyond VAPT, so VAPT is something which is helping you in today's challenges. So what our solution talks about is beyond VAPT, we can add more and more value, and right from from testing to the assessment to optimization, and you can start from pre-deployment stage till your day-on-day operation stage. Today, if you look at, you're adding so many applications, you're adding so many updates, patches, but who is the person who is really aware of that? What are the influences and effect these day-on-day changes are really making on your network? So that's something which is very important, and our tool can actually make use of for your network. So we help make it work. You can test the network security infrastructure, performance and security, and you can you can assess audit on daily basis, on weekly basis, on quarterly basis, and it basically validate your security in the changing environment. And the most important part is that it get visibility of network changes, and again, last but not the least, training your people. Thank you so much.